good evening. Welcome to Beer Fan TV, and this is a review of the Rossini versus the Peroni. Audi have been at it again, and I think for a while. I don't think I'm the first person to do a review of Rossini, but I haven't seen many Rossinis versus Peroni on YouTube. So I thought it would be a good video. I think the fairest way to do it was to pre-chill them for at least a week, put them in the same glass, and yeah, let's see how we get on. So I think first of all, Peroni. I think everyone's heard of Peroni. It's a genuine Italian beer, according to Wikipedia, which is gospel. It was originally brewed and founded in Francesco Peroni in Italy in 1846. So it's a beer it's been around for a while, and Rossini is a beer that's been brewed in Audi. And chances are this could be very similar to some of the rumours that you hear about some of the other stuff that they sell that's own brand. Actually, there's a good chance it might taste almost identical to Peroni. It's probably brewed by the same people and a different label put on it. There wasn't really much that I could find out about Rossini online, but Peroni is a genuine Italian beer. I spent some time in Turin, or Torino, depending if you're asking Italian. And out there, Peroni was sold, but it was sold in like the big litre bottles and in bars and stuff like that. But that was one of the first time I ever saw it. So it's a genuine Italian beer. It's not like Castle 4X or Foster's being sold as as an Australian beer. When you go out there, they don't sell it. To be honest, my little brother lives out there, so I know. But yeah, so it's a genuine beer, yeah, very popular. So I like Peroni. Never had Rossini before, so I've got no idea what this is actually going to taste like, but it's well worth a go. So first off, like I said, I thought put them both in the same glasses, Heineken glasses, they're half pints. Peroni and Rossini, you can see the labels are very similar. You'll notice straight off the bat, similar type of sort of labelling on the bottles. I don't think you'd necessarily walk past it and think that's Peroni. But some of the things, Nastro Zero, that basically means blue label. And they've got these blue labels going around the bar, around the sticker, very similar. Peroni written in red, and in white, but red background. You could argue it's relatively similar. If you get down to some of the nitty-gritty parts of it, though, you'll notice that when you do buy these, I bought this bottle of Peroni from a supermarket and paid £2.20, and that is 620 mils at 5.1%. And Rossini, I paid £1.29. And I got 500 mils at 5.1%. So the alcohol is exactly the same. You get a little bit more for the Peroni, but it does cost you almost £1 more. So I guess the key thing is that, is it worth spending the extra £1 on a load of these Peronis or a bottle of Peroni? Or is it worth going down to someone like Aldi and picking up some cheaper lager that tastes almost identical? I think the only way to find out is let's get into it. And we use a new tool, got off of Facebook to go with my perfect draft. Big Stella fan on that. Oh, smells nice. Smells like an Italian beer. There we go, we'll pour that. Bit of head on that. We'll let that settle. And straight off the bat, I think the Rossini smells a bit nicer, if I'm honest. Again, very similar, very gassy. A lot of carbonation in that. It doesn't help the way that I've poured it, in all fairness. But again, we'll let that settle. So straight off the bat, they look identical. There's nothing really in there that tells you any different. I mean, it's quite light in colour. It's quite known as a light lager, to be honest. And when I was doing a little bit of research on Peroni, that came up. And they both look quite carb. They've both got a bit of carbonation. I would actually probably say the Rossini, if you can see that, seems to have a little bit more carbonation than the Peroni, to be honest. But colours, they look identical. A nice head on it. Well, this is probably not the best way to pour the lager, but we'll chuck it in anyway. And so yeah, so far, carbonation. If you like a fizzy sort of Pilsner type drink, you might prefer the Rossini. Absolutely, but identical, really, straight away. So first off, we'll go back onto the smell, now it's been poured into the glass. The Peroni smells like a lager. It's got a nice fresh taste to it, to be honest. Not a horrible pongy taste, quite nice, to be honest. And the Rossini, I'll be honest with you, very similar. If someone mixed these two glasses up, I wouldn't be able to tell you which one is which, if I'm completely honest. I think they actually smell and look almost identical, apart from the Rossini's got way more carbonation in it, if I'm completely honest. So, oh, let me just also say as well, while you're watching this video, please like and subscribe to the channel. Comments are always welcome. It's just nice to know that people like and enjoy the content, and I know to make more of it, to be honest. But yeah, so let's maybe get into the taste and see what we think. So the Peroni, I mean, it's a nice tasting lager, to be honest. You know, doesn't taste too fizzy. It's quite light, quite easy to drink, quite a sessionable beer. Doesn't have a strong taste to it, no bitter taste to it. You could quite easily sink a few of them, and most lager fans probably have, to be honest. So far, A-OK. Good beer, to be honest. Rossini. Okay. They look identical. There is a slight difference in taste. I would say that you notice quite on the taste that there's a little bit more carbonation in that when you drink it. And not only that, it's got a little bit of a different aftertaste. I'd probably turn around and say it's a little bit bitter on the back end with the Rossini, but it's still a nice beer, if I'm completely honest. One thing I have noticed though, if you look at these two beers, the Peroni lost its head, gone, but the Rossini hanging around. You know what I mean? That might follow it all the way down. I'll give them both a little top up. There we go. Liven them up a little bit. So straight away, I do prefer a beer. I like the Continental. You know, I like a beer with at least 2 finger head on the top. Continental. I like that. We'll go back in for another taste of the Peroni. Nice, easy drinking again. Just a nice lager, to be honest. Easy drinking. I mean, it's not packed full of taste. I mean, these have been chilled. They're probably sat at about 4 degrees maybe. Maybe 3 from the fridge. So that sometimes can kill the taste. Sometimes when they're a little bit warmer, you get a little bit more taste out of it. There's still carbonation in it though. Still good carbonation. If anything, that little top up's probably helped it. I'd probably say it's catching up now with the Rossini. But a nice, easy drinking, level beer taste. You know, it's not like it's easy to start when you've got that bitter taste at the end. It leaves you a bit of a funny taste. It's level, it's the same taste throughout. Nice, easy session beer, I'd call that. Even though it's 5%, 5.1% to be exact, you could still drink a load of those. This one, the Rossini. That's a nice beer as well. There isn't a dramatic difference in taste. I just think the Rossini has a little bit of a bitter taste at the back end compared to the Peroni. But I wouldn't say that the Rossini bitter taste at the back end is anything to turn around and say, oh, turn your nose up it, don't drink it. You know, if someone offered me a Rossini instead of a Peroni, I wouldn't turn it down. You know, I think, to be honest with you, the two beers are very, very similar. And if I was budget minded and was thinking, you know what, I want to go and buy some beers for the weekend, but you know, I need to go careful with the pennies, I wouldn't hesitate in buying the Rossini, because I know it tastes almost identical to the Peroni, and it's a nice drinking beer. You could easily drink it, absolutely. So I think full and final, last gulp. Oh, that's nice. And the Rossini. Again, there isn't a dramatic difference between the two. You know, the beer snobbing, you might turn around and say, no, I'm going to drink the Peroni, I won't drink the Rossini. But then the budget-minded of us might turn around and say, actually, hang on a second. No, I quite like the idea of saving a bit of cash and having a nice beer. I think they both taste really nice, to be honest. I could quite comfortably drink both. The big things I have noticed, though, carbonation-wise, the Rossini is a little bit more carbonated. Colour-wise, they're identical. And the head seems to last that little bit longer on the Rossini. So if someone said to me, wanted me to say which one is my favourite out of the two, I think they both taste pretty much the same, to be honest. There's a little bit of an aftertaste on this one, but not terrible. Yeah, I would say it's a good copy if that's what it is. I wouldn't be too shocked if it's the exact same beer, just a different label stuck on the front, because Tesco's and Sainsbury's don't like the idea of Aldi selling their branded stuff cheaper than those guys. So there's a rumour going around that the suppliers turned around and said, okay, well, we can continue to supply you, but we can't give you Peroni. We can just put a different sticker on it, if that makes sense. And it will taste very similar, but we'll make a slight changes so it's not the exact same product. And that's how I think they get away with these brands that are so similar. So yeah, but yeah, full and final. Listen, really nice beer, Rossini and Peroni, both lovely. If you can afford it, buy the Peroni. If you budget one, get the Rossini. You're not really disappointed. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the review. There's more to come. And yeah, take care. Thanks very much.